Hey everybody, NWA Prepper here, and this is a Patreon only video. Which I want to do more of, but this one is kind of opinionated. So, and I'm digging the driving thing. I spend a lot of windshield time, not as much as some, I know, but so I gotta adjust it a little bit. And I think that's going to always be a battle until I invest in a better microphone. Until this little bracket gets better. What I want to talk today about is a couple folds. First thing is, and I think all my current Patreon members are pretty close to me, and so you know the motorcycle rally that just went on. It was, now I'm at an angle. Now you'll have to deal with it. Bikes, Blues, and Barbecue. It was a crazy time. And I don't mean that I did a lot at work or anything personal. I mean for the region. But it didn't seem as much of a rally as it normally is. Now, I didn't go anywhere near Baum Stadium or Dixon Street, where the basis of their rally is. But just from running up and down the interstate a little bit and running to town, it didn't seem like the same population or the same rally as it has been in the past. And I'm totally fine with that. I went out and there was a Coleman trailer sale. They had a big tractor trailer just full of stuff. And Coleman gear is by far not the cheapest stuff they make. It's not the most expensive, but it's a good mid-grade equipment. So I went there, of course, I'm back to the world of the budget, so I didn't buy any new tents, or I didn't buy any new tables. I love their folding tables. I didn't buy a new lantern, which is actually the reason I went there, was to get a new lantern, just because the style that I have has a broken globe, and it's an older model, so getting the globes are a little more difficult. So I just thought, well, if they're decent priced, I'd just upgrade, to the new lantern. But I didn't. I bought some stuff for my kids: waterproof playing cards, these little folding camp chairs that would never, ever in a million years hold my fat butt. And then I got a water bag, like a dry bag. And I bought it under the excuse of it'll be good for kayaking. But what I really bought it for was to throw in the truck. Because the one that I'm using now, I keep my hammock camping setup in there. My hammock, my tarp, and my underquilt. I haven't thrown my regular hammock blanket in there. But I have those in a really big dry bag. And so it's a lot of wasted bag. Which, I mean, in itself, it's always better to have more bag than not enough. But for this particular purpose of tossing my hammock camping stuff in the back of the truck, is I know exactly what I need. I know exactly what I want to put in there, and that's going to work out well for it. But while I was up there and I went to town, and then the preparedness festival was last weekend, just tons and tons excuse me, thousands and thousands of people. And if something terrible had happened, if a tornado had come through, or even a bad thunderstorm, it would have displaced thousands of people instantly that were living in their camps, that were staying at hotels, that had no way to take care of themselves. Whether they would be a prepper or not, they got here on a motorcycle. So there is no extra stuff on a motorcycle. A lot of them didn't have everything that they would need anyway. They were just roughing it for a few days, which is totally cool. That's awesome to just make do. What would they have done? Short term, nothing. They'd have found hotels, they'd have found people, for a day or two, or they'd have just tried to go home. Long-term disaster. New Madrid goes and cracks all the bridges, and they close bridges. A tornado rips out and destroys a bunch of the infrastructure, takes out a bunch of their bikes. A big fire. I know this sounds silly, but a motorcycle fire in that big line of motorcycles that's wind-driven or, heaven forbid, human-created, we're talking they could displace or take away the transportation for hundreds, which would complicate that, because those hundreds would be affected. It's like a ripple in a pond effect. How would we handle it? We're blessed to have the infrastructure because of the university to handle some things like that. But school is also in session. So now we've got 20,000 students and, good Lord, 300,000 bikes, and that's just off of memory. Let's just even narrow it down. Let's just say 200,000 people who are absolutely not prepared for crap. In a day or two, everything in Fayetteville and Bentonville, everything in Northwest Arkansas is wiped out. Supply-wise, there'll be no bottled water, there'll be no, all that stuff. Hold on, guys. All that stuff is gone. Which we already know is coming, and so hopefully you're being a little bit more prepared, you're stocking up a little bit. And I don't mean going and buying a pallet of rice, a pallet of beans, and a pallet of sugar, and storing them up, and buying a vault, and buying 500 firearms, and 50 million rounds of ammunition. That's not what I'm saying. I want you guys to be ready for emergencies. Because sometimes the emergencies that we're going to get are going to be the stupid ones. And they're going to affect the people that come to our area with their sole intention as a short-term excursion that turns long-term. I want you to take care of your families. I'm here to help you. The number one way I can help you is with information. Which, as one of my Patreon followers, you have better access to my information than anyone else. Every one of you right now, as of the date of this video, every one of you can at least email me, if not phone call me, or come sit down and talk to me. I don't know everything. I know a little bit, and I know people who know more than I do. Think of a Razorback game or Bikes, Blues, and Barbecue and an emergency. And make sure that when that happens, you don't have to leave the farm. You can stay at the house. You don't need to go for milk and eggs. You're taken care of. Thanks for watching. Thanks for your support. Let's get ready.